this lesson, we're going to talk about how much money you can make teaching online. Not only we'll talk some more about some other top earners, but what you can expect to make from your own business and how it's likely to ramp up. So let's go ahead and dive into the details. So how much money can you make? There is a tremendous demand for online content and online courses. Sites like Udemy and Skillshare have really lowered the barrier of entry. There's no fee to become an instructor on those sites. Udemy reports having over 24 million students, so tons of opportunity and all different types of course areas. So no matter what you're planning on teaching, there's probably a decent sized market for it. Amazon is the world's largest bookseller, so if you intend on publishing hard copy books out of your courses to supplement your courses, Amazon is a great place to get started, and there's lots of resources available to help you get started on Amazon Kindle. All of these sites are completely free. You don't have to have any publishing fees. This is not like the old days where you had to work with a publisher to get your content out there. You can get your content out there for absolutely nothing for right now except your hard work. So let's talk about this in a little bit more detail. In the next few slides, I'm going to present some instructors that I've followed for a while and are some of the top instructors in the field. So the first one is Phil Abner, and he's the founder of Video School Online, and he's one of the leading instructors on Udemy. If you look at his profile page on Udemy, it describes that he has over 700,000 students. These are mind-boggling numbers, and he has published over 88 courses. I subscribe to a newsletter of Phil's, and he publishes his earnings reports monthly. And it states that he makes around $50,000 per month from his online courses. So there's a link to his online profile. You can check out the statistics for yourself. Again, these are not typical results, but I just want to make the point of the top end of what you could possibly make if you're wildly successful at this. Let's go ahead and look at the next one. The next example of a top instructor is Cain. He teaches data science classes and is the founder of Sundog Education. He's also a former engineer at Amazon. I recently saw a post from him that he crossed the $1 million sales mark on Udemy, an incredible achievement. I put the link for Sundog Education on there, and you can check out Frank further, and his data science classes are excellent. I'm taking one right now on Skillshare. So let's go ahead and move on to the next example. The last example of the top instructor is Rob Percival. Rob is one of the early Udemy instructors, and he teaches web development. He's been on the Udemy platform since the beginning, and he currently has over 1 million students and has published 41 courses. Incredible achievements. I put a link to Rob's user profile on Udemy, and you can go check out his profile. Also, if you Google his name, you'll see all kinds of articles about Rob's success. So let's go ahead and move on to the next area. As far as my own online achievements, in the last 3 years, I've been able to establish a regular, repeatable income for my teaching business under the name of Destined Learning. I was teaching part-time at some local universities in the central Ohio area for the last few years, but I found that I really enjoyed teaching online a lot more. It was a lot more flexible. I could reach a worldwide audience, and I didn't have to commute through bad weather to class after working my full-time job in the day, so it's really presented a great opportunity for me. I have been able to experience some growth. My YouTube channel now has more than 12,000 subscribers, and I encourage you to subscribe to my channel as well, and it's steadily growing. My revenues has over doubled since last year, and it's also led me to a fantastic opportunity that I've now become a full-time content author at Linux Academy. So I do this full-time, and I really love the job. So even if you don't make a lot of money online, perhaps being online and having an online presence can lead to other opportunities that you never intended in the beginning. So this business can lead you in a lot of different directions, and I highly recommend you get started. So what will your results look like? Well, that depends on a lot of things, but I would say be prepared to start out slow. This is a long-term opportunity. It's a perfect job that you can start doing in the evenings, moonlighting, put out some videos a little bit at a time and gain some momentum. Your first course sales will probably move slowly, but will gain momentum over time. I think the first course that I put out, the first month I made something like $20, but I was ecstatic to actually make some money online. You'll have to put in a lot of content to make regular sales, so perhaps maybe your first class might be a smaller version of a larger class. Maybe you'll put out a class that has an hour or two of content, and then put it and use that as a stepping stone to maybe a larger medium size or large size enterprise type of class. So you're going to have to, I don't think it's realistic that you can put out one short class and make a ton of money at it. It's something that you'll have to stick with, and you'll have to continue to put out content on a regular basis. And we'll talk more about that during this class later on. So what can you really make? What's my best guess at this? So if you really stick with this and put out a lot of content, it's not unreasonable to make several $1,000s a month and to build a nice supplemental income. You could probably also build this into a full-time income, but you'll really have to put out a considerable amount of content to be able to do that on multiple channels. But that's one of the great things about this type of content is if you do a video course for Udemy, there's no reason you can't put that same content out on YouTube and Skillshare, and you'll get or turn it into an ebook as well. So in my experience, it's been much better to make a little bit of money from multiple channels than to have all my eggs in one basket and depend on one channel like Udemy or Skillshare. It'll all depend on the volume and the quality of your material. So both of those things you'll get with time, with practice. You'll be able to put out high quality material on a routine basis quickly once you get some experience with this, but it does take time, so you'll need to be patient. So let's look at some examples of payment. Let's first look at the Udemy platform. If you have a course that sells for $9.99, Udemy, if they market your course, will take a revenue share of 50%. So let's look at an example. If you made 100 sales in a month and your revenue share is 50% of $9.99, I rounded it up to $5 for simplicity, you would make $500 a month. On Skillshare, you don't get paid by the sale. It's a subscription type of service, and you get paid by the minute. Now, this payment fee changes depending on a formula. I'm just going to round it to 5 cents per minute. So if you have a course length of 120 minutes, and you have 100 students that view the entire course, which is not realistic, by the way, that just because they take the course doesn't mean they'll watch each and every video. However, in this example, we'll assume that they do. So 100 students viewing 120 minutes of content is 12,000 minutes. And if it's 5 cents a minute, then that's $600. So that's a little bit of the high level numbers. And you can see the type of numbers you have to generate to start generating several $1,000s of revenue a month. It's not unreasonable to assume that, but it will take some time to build up to that. You'll have to have a significant amount of content out there to do that. In summary, there's a huge market for online content. Unbelievable opportunities out there. There's the potential for high income. You can establish a regular, repeatable income. I've done it, and if I can do it, you can do it. It is not a quick, rich scheme. It will require a lot of hard work and dedication and consistent production in order for you to reach your goals. That's really it for this lesson. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button, and if you want more material like this, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, if you'd like to pick up a copy of this book and learn more about teaching online, here's a link to my book on Amazon. It's also in the video description as well. Thanks again. See you later. Bye-bye.